Hi! So we've gotten a lot of questions on the different sizes of trays that we have and how to plant in them and how to water in them. And so here's a quick little video on what I do and a visual on the size trays. I hope you enjoy it.
All right, so today we're gonna plant in the CD60s, and I'm just gonna show you what I do. If you have a different process, that's great. But so this is the size. It's 60 cells, and we sell this size, and we sell the 30 cell, which looks like this. It has a little section right here for separation, and then we have the 15. It's super cute. So we sell these to keep you a little bit more organized. If you have something smaller, like a smaller amount of a crop that you want to grow, then yes, these would be great to keep it organized. So I also want to show you how they fit. This size cell is the exact size of the CD60s. And so sometimes when I'm packaging them, I will fit them in like this, and they fit perfectly. Also for storage, this is good too. So that the 30s don't actually fit in the 60s because they have this little section. Just the way that the mold was made, they had to put this in. But if you get 30s and 15s, you can stack them like that. So I wanted to visually show you guys, you know, these different sizes because some people were a little bit confused. We do have a different size of cell coming in the future. It's a larger cell. It's going to be the same footprint as the 60, except for it will have 40. And so you can plant things that have bigger leaves like cucumbers and I guess just things like that you want to get started in the greenhouse. So now that the sizes are done, this is what I do. I just go to my local store and get Jiffy Organic. It's a starting mix, and I think it's important to have a starting mix because the soil is it's half coconut coir, which is just super fine, and there's not going to be any sticks getting in your way. There's not going to be a bunch of, it's not completely sterile, but it's not going to be like a bunch of bacteria and stuff like that would kill your plants. So what I'm doing here is, I know that you can't see because of the camera, but I'm filling up the holes like this. I'll lift it up. And then I'm just kind of wiping away the excess like that. So now you have a nice clean tray, okay? Just like this. So then you're just gonna wanna put your seeds in. And today I am seeding some heirloom bell peppers because my family loves to eat bell peppers. And we have a lot of jalapenos and spicy peppers, which are super exciting, but we don't, I think this is the start of our bell pepper. So I always like to plant bell peppers by I like to seed them. Now I've laid in all of my seeds, and I started with the bell peppers right here, and then I went and to fill up the whole tray, I got some yellow beefsteak tomato seeds that have been saved from earlier tomatoes. Now this is where, like, if you were, you know, really organized or wanted to separate so that, you know, one tray would be all of one item, that's where these would come in and be useful. But I'm just doing it this way. So I press the seed down and then I put kind of like tuck in the soil all around. And that's just what I do for all of them. And I've had a good result with that. I don't put soil on top. I don't press it in very much. And here, it's kind of, I like to save as much of that jiffy as I can because, yeah, I don't want to keep going back to the store and getting more. So yeah, we are trying to eat everything that we grow from the garden, of course, trying to supplement as much of our produce as we can. And behind me is our food forest that we're starting. We have a bunch of berry bushes and fruit trees, and then corn and beans and strawberries. It's been a lot of fun, and it's just the beginning of harvesting everything, so I'm really excited. The temperature here is probably in the 80s right now, but it'll get up to the 90s. This week, I think our high is 97. So I feel like it's kind of hot, but I have to remind myself it's May. Okay, so all of these are tucked in, and this is what it looks like, all right? And so now you're wondering, how do I water these? So what you're gonna do, the best way to water them is to have a tray. Now, this tray is from Amazon. It does fit our trays, and I can link it below, but it's that flimsy plastic that we're all trying to avoid. This was something that we were trying out, and we don't particularly like them, or else we'd be carrying them on the website. So the bottom watering trays are coming in the future. We have ordered them, but I can't give you a date. So so I would get any tray. You could even have this, or you can have, like, my aunt is using like a part of her stove, like a tray that you would put in the stove, or you could use a cookie sheet. So what you're gonna do though is pour your water in your tray, whatever it is, okay? And then you're going to probably need a little bit more water, okay? And then you're just going to put your seeds in here, and you're going to let the water wick up from the bottom and soak completely the soil, okay? And so this usually takes some time, an hour or so. And then I come back out and I take my tray out, and I let it sit. I have a little greenhouse, and I let it sit in the greenhouse, and I let it kind of dry out, and then I come back, and this is how I water them every other day or so. This way you're not splashing a bunch of water on these freshly planted seeds, and it doesn't disturb the soil or the seeds or anything like that. So I wanted to show you, like, if you do let your seedlings sit in water, there becomes like a fungus or a mold. I don't know if you can see that. There's like all in here, this green algae. So, and I know that it's been sitting in water. Yeah, there's still a little water in there. Yeah, another thing you can do is just dump that water out and put this tray back under. But we'll have those like amazing underwatering trays. And if you, I really can't predict when we're gonna get them, but we're gonna get them. And so This is not good for your seedlings, of course. But I have some tomatoes that are growing through that, I guess. And what happened is I either forgot about it or it got watered. Sometimes I'll ask people to water the garden, they'll spray my seedlings, and then the water gets in that way, and it's no big deal. That's why we seed, right? It's because we can make a lot, and some of them don't survive. Now in this tray, I have some tomato plants and some flowers. And so what I'm interested in planting today are flowers. And the best, I think, in my opinion, the best way to plant is to be using these seed trays and to use a dibber. So the bottom part of the dibber is the exact little pop out of these seedlings. So when I pop out this little plant, it's gonna be exactly the same little footprint right here. So the exact hole will be made with this as the plant needs. And it doesn't disturb the soil, and so all those microbes just kind of sort of bend, and then they start, it's just the best method. So before I go show you how to plant with the dibber, I want to show you also my method of labeling plants. All I do is I take the package that I have and I take a clothespin, and I know I planted the tomato plants the pepper plants on this side, and I just kind of clip it like that. And then I have these yellow beefsteak tomatoes, and I take my clothespin and I clip it just like this. So I like it because I'm reusing my package and it's also colorful, and yeah, so I kind of like this method. It's really worked for me. So I can, as you see here, I plant several things and label them, and I think it works for me. So let's go plant in the garden. Okay, so now we're gardening in my gardening bed. I have eggplant, lettuce, watermelon, flowers, and cilantro. And I have this little section here where I want to plant some more flowers. And your garden bed may not have mulch, but mine does, because we live in a very hot environment, and a lot of summers we have a drought. So whatever I can do to retain moisture is like this thin layer of mulch is what I need to do. So another good tip is to, when you're planting your seedlings, is to plant on a day like today. It's partly cloudy. I wish it was a little bit more cloudy, but I know that there's going to be rain tomorrow. So I like to, if I know that rain is coming, I like to put things in the ground before it starts to rain. So the way we do the dibber is we're just going to go ahead and poke that little hole in. I like to twist a little bit, comes right out, and we're gonna pop out our seedling. So I am putting my finger in this hole and just popping it right out. And so this was labeled mystery flower mix. So we'll have a mystery flower right here. So here's the next one. Gonna move these out of the way. Gonna clear a spot right here. Poke my hole. Twist a little bit. Right out. And then I'm gonna poke out my mystery flower. These two didn't make it. I'm just gonna pinch these off. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this guy right in here, tuck him in, so it's nice and good. Okay, so the last but not least is watering it in. So you can't forget this part. These are little babies and they need lots of attention. So I have filled my 1 gallon watering can up with water, and I have an organic liquid water fertilizer, and it is 1 ounce to my gallon. And so I'm just going to water it in. We're good to go. So these guys are gonna get the natural rain tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a few flowers in the garden. I'm gonna say a few things. All right, so this is not my system. This is Charles Dowding's system, and I love it. I think it personally is the best. I have had so much success with it, and I hope that you do too. You know, getting that dibber along with the trays and poking that hole. My son calls it, he says, Mom, it's almost like Legos. Like, it's literally like the exact thing. It's just wonderful and beautiful. So I hope this helps, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Join our mailing list if you want updates on the products that we're carrying. Please subscribe.